Hi, my name is Amanda Bailey, and I will just be presenting my signature assessment um, for EDOL 647. And my personal vision statement for a professional learning community is a group of educators and administrators focusing on the same value, and that value is the students. A PLC should be a group that values the opinions of others and is willing to be continuous learners. A group of colleagues that are eager to create an environment that is student-centered. The focus should always be student-centered. Meetings will be used to plan engaging instruction that instills a love for learning and an atmosphere for exploration. Just an explanation of the PLC project that it would have two parts. The first part is to identify a problem within my classroom and then select a strategy or intervention to implement and then plan how the strategy will be used in the classroom. And then the second part will focus on writing the intervention, summarizing the data that was found, and reflecting and deciding next steps. So the problem that I used in my classroom was that I found was after administering weekly comprehension assessments and looking at our iReady assessment scores and analyzing that data, I observed a large achievement gap in reading comprehension pertaining to vocabulary words in a text. Students were not understanding grade level vocabulary, so that was a big concern. So the strategy I decided to implement into my classroom was FRAIR models. And a FRAIR model is a visual organizer that assists students in defining and using vocabulary words in several different ways. It helps students in using context clues to identify vocabulary words as well, and it can be used all across different content areas. My plan was to first model. First, modeling was the key strategy to use to implement this. And the great thing about FRAIR models is they can be modified to meet different students' needs. The tasks can be changed or they can work together. Once mastery is observed, then it can be changed. But it also fosters critical thinking. You can adjust it in different ways to have students to think critically. So first I presented it to ensure their understanding that they knew exactly the process of completing the FRAIR model. Then I divided the students into groups and gave them a large FRAIR model template to use as a group. And each group was assigned a specific vocabulary word from the reading that we were using that week. Students worked collaboratively to identify the definition, create a sentence, draw an illustration, and list synonyms that were similar to those words. After looking at the data after FRAIR models had been implemented, I saw that the number of students performing more than one grade level below first grade level decreased significantly. More students are now performing on or above grade level compared to the national averages and based on iReady assessment. After students were comfortable with using FRAIR models, I still provided them with opportunities to work in small groups, but I also wanted them to be able to do this individually. So individual modifications can be made to differentiate instruction based on students' needs, and formative assessment can be used in the form of observation as well. So reflection and next steps of my strategy that was implemented. FRAIR models in my classroom have increased vocabulary recognition and reading comprehension. The process allowed students to work collaboratively in small groups, understand synonyms, create visuals, and use context clues effectively. Next steps could possibly be introducing additional vocabulary strategies such as semantic maps, word wizards, and concept clues. Presenting vocabulary strategies in a professional, and I would also want to present these strategies in a professional development session or during a PLC. So now it's your turn to try it. I have included a list of vocabulary words for you to use in a FRAIR model, such as automaticity, brainstorming, diagnostic, report, or scaffolding.